Guys, it's Bryony. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing my 20/21 week bump date. So I don't think I have too much to update on symptoms wise this time. There hasn't been really that much change in my symptoms over the last few weeks. I'd say the biggest change has probably been that my appetite has definitely increased. Not sure when this first kicked in. I think it might have been around the 19-week mark, but I've definitely noticed that I'm eating more than I have ever done before. Partly that is because I actually have a bigger appetite, but partly it is also because I still very occasionally get that kind of funny taste in my mouth. It's not as strong as it used to be, but when you've got that kind of like, taste in your mouth, I'm just sort of tempted to eat like crisps or sweets and stuff just to kind of keep something in my mouth so that I get rid of that taste. So that's more like wanting to get rid of the taste of my appetite, but my appetite itself is definitely bigger because I've been able to eat like a full portion of food and then wait an hour and have pudding, and like I could never have done that before I was pregnant. I had quite a small appetite, so that has definitely got bigger. Something else I've noticed is I have definitely started to become more irritable. I find myself getting quite like there are things that I find annoying to me now that I definitely didn't find annoying before, and I'm like, right, this is definitely pregnancy irritability kicking in. I haven't had that before, but that's definitely started to kick in now. My worst physical symptom is definitely still like the feeling faint, etc. I've had so many people make suggestions, about drinking electrolyte drinks, compression socks, etc. I just like it just doesn't work. I've just had to come to the conclusion at the moment that I'm very much limited to what I can do in house or what we can do going out in the wheelchair. Although that, to be honest, has started to get a bit of a problem too, because now I've started to have episodes where I'm not fainting, but I'm feeling that kind of like drained, sicky feeling. Just even sitting down, I can get it. So I was having coffee with a friend of mine yesterday, and we went to Starbucks, and I had my dad drop me off literally right outside the door, walked in, sat down straight away, and normally I'd be fine with that, but I had to still lie down even after I'd been talking to her for a little bit, because I was like, hang on, I'm getting really tired just from sitting here having this conversation, and like it's the blood you could feel drain from your head as well. It's not very fun. So now it's not just walking and standing that does it, it's sitting and engaging in any kind of activity, which kind of sucks. Definitely I'm going to raise that again with the midwife when I see them and see if there's anything they could do for me medication wise with that. I don't think there is. I think they'd have mentioned it by now, but it's just so debilitating not being able to do anything without feeling like you're going to keel over. So that's definitely the most annoying symptom that I still have and have had now for several weeks with my pregnancy. I'd say the nausea was horrible in the first part, but I was quite lucky that it wore off soon, and I actually did get medication that was able to manage that. But this kind of not being able to do anything physical, that is really limiting in what I can do. Something a bit more exciting is I did find out the gender of the baby. I'm not going to say it in this video because I did film my little gender reveal party that I did with some close friends of mine, and I have obviously got that footage and I'm going to upload it, but I don't know if I'll have uploaded that by the time this video goes live, so just in case I won't do. But yes, I do now know the gender of the baby, so that was really fun. Another bit of news is I have now made my first proper big purchase for the baby. Obviously I have a lot of stuff for them because of being a foster carer. Like naturally I have like cots and pushchairs and etc. But I did decide I needed a new car seat for the little one, because I have a car seat that's fixed into my car, which is goes from birth, and I really like it and I use it a lot. However, I was debating whether or not to get a new infant carrier car seat, the one that's kind of portable, because I do have one, but it's a bit old, and I just decided it probably needs replacing anyway. And given how important a car seat is, it's the thing that literally keeps your baby alive if you're in a car crash, I decided that was something worth investing in. So I will probably do a video at some point of all like my main baby things. One thing I've learned through many years of fostering is actually you really don't need much stuff for a baby. There's so much of what you're told you need for a baby is just pure capitalism. Like it's not actually what you need. There's very little you physically need, but there are some things that you kind of learn that you don't need but you like to have, and other things that you think are absolutely essential, and some things that are just completely unnecessary. But obviously a car seat is pretty necessary, especially if you drive like I do. And I was debating for ages about which car seat to get, whether to go for like the basic Maxi-Cosi Cabrio fix. I definitely wanted to get one that had an ISOFIX base, so the base that kind of fits in the car, that the car seat can click onto, but also one that is capable of clipping in with a seat belt. That's something that I have learned is so important through fostering, because you never know what's going to happen. you might need, so you might need to use it in someone else's car and you don't have the base with you, or there might be an emergency, you've got an ambulance or transfer between hospitals and then you need a car seat for that. They don't have the ISOFIX, so you need to strap it with a seatbelt. So I've always found that having that infant car seat that can strap in with a seatbelt as well as ISOFIX was particularly critical. And there are some car seats now that don't have the seatbelt option. So one or two that I looked at that didn't have that. It's quite rare, but there are still a few that don't. And the one I've been eyeing up for quite some time was the Cybex CloudZ, which is basically a car. Cybex are known for making really safe car seats. I've had Cybex car seats before, I really like them. And this one is quite clever because it's an infant carrier, but it can also clip onto a pushchair and recline so it lies flat when it's out of the car, so that you can keep a baby in there for longer if they fall asleep. And if there's one thing I've learned, is as much as they tell you don't leave your children sleeping in the car seat, if you are sleep deprived and you know that that child needs their nap and they are napping, and if you take them out of their car seat they're going to wake up, you are going to leave them in that car seat. I have sat so many children next to me on the bed in their car seat and watched them like a hawk while I just go on YouTube or something next to it, just keep checking them, make sure they're not going blue, rather than wake them up. You do that. So I thought it might be worth investing in one of these car seats that actually can recline and lie flat, so you don't have that kind of asphyxiation risk where children are not supposed to be left in the car seat too long because it can cut off their esophagus. And by pure chance, I had gone to see a local baby centre near me, somewhere that sells obviously lots of baby products, to look at some car seats. And it just so happens that Cybex have recently released the CloudZ 2. So they had one of the old CloudZs in stock, which has the same functions. I think the CloudZ 2 has the ability to recline, slightly in the car. That I really wasn't worried about. So I thought, well, let's have a look at the old one. And the old one had, I think we had £160 off the original price, which brought it more in line with some of the typical ranges of car seats that come with an ISOFIX base anyway. So I was like, well, I've been debating whether to get this one, and it was really just the price that was holding me back, because it felt like a lot of money to spend on a car seat that you only really use for a year, and also which you might not use that recline function. I didn't know whether or not it was going to be worth it, so I was umming and ahhing about it, but with that discount I decided it was worth going for it, so I'm really pleased I did get that one. And on the subject of kind of like purchases, one idea I have been mulling over my head, which I'm really curious to see if you guys be interested in, is I've had a couple of really sweet messages from people through my Instagram page asking if I'm going to do like one of those baby registries online where people can purchase things for the baby. And I did have a look into this, and I believe the only company that do it in a way where they don't show your address publicly is Amazon. So I could potentially set up an Amazon gift registry, as much as I'm not so keen on Amazon for other reasons. But I could set one up for like some little things, like some teethers and stuff, and put that public. And then people, if people were interested in purchasing something for the little one, then I could always put that up and then do a video showing all the different things that you guys have bought them. But I don't know if there'd be any interest in that, so do let me know. Obviously I've got a lot of the big equipment, so it'd only be little things, but I know that some people enjoy doing that, enjoy sending things in that case. And obviously being a YouTuber, I have to keep my address private, so that's the only way I think it would work. So do let me know if there's any interest in that, and I might look into doing it. And other than that, I don't think there's really anything else to update on this week. Like always, I've struggled with my mental health throughout pregnancy. I did have a really bad episode, what was it now, it's Friday, this weekend just gone, really bad depressive episode, which I called into my perinatal mental health team. And I actually have my perinatal mental health nurse that I knew they were triaging me on Tuesday this week, and on that afternoon I got a message from a perinatal mental health nurse to say she wanted to come out and do a home visit on Monday. So I've got that coming up, so fingers crossed that goes okay. But it is increasingly looking like now trying some medication alongside doing some therapy, so I'm just hoping that it works and it helps. I definitely am kind of getting to the point where I feel like that is the right decision, and you can only really make the right decision for yourself, can't you? So it's been a tough one, but the rest of the week I've been pretty good. Oh, I completely forgot, I had another ultrasound this week. I had another ultrasound yesterday, just to go and see the little one now that I know what their gender is, just to see if I had more of a connection with them, and that was a really nice experience actually. I definitely enjoyed that ultrasound and looking at them, which is probably the first time that's happened. So that was a really big step, so I did want to share that. But yes, so mental health is pretty much as it has been throughout pregnancy, up and down, but still got support in place, still working with that, seeing what will happen. And like I've said before, I am planning to do a video on it. I really want to, but I need to be in the right frame of mind to make that kind of video, because it's going to be long and it's going to be hard for me to do. And I really want to get it right because I think it's so important. But I've always wanted to be open throughout this whole pregnancy about the experience, because I feel that there's very much a kind of glamorized view of pregnancy online, which doesn't show the reality of how tough it can actually be. People, either physically or mentally, and in my case, I'd say mentally more than physically, although obviously the fainting is not fun. But I just want to kind of portray that realistic side of it, and that's how it's been for me. Right then, without further ado, let's do a bump shot. So this is my belly at 21 weeks in my clothes. These are my maternity leggings that I got from Seraphine, and I'm honestly in love with them. They're so comfy. There's Bump from the front. And from the side, definitely getting a curve there now, I think. I did also just have lunch, so I'm quite bloated up here. Yeah, that's my bump. So yeah, I think that is everything to update you guys on for this week. Like I said, there's not really been a lot that's happened. Just slowly getting bigger, and we just have to see how things go from here. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Do please subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye, everyone.